Feature Friday.
The freshest phenomenon in my head.
Was that your was your upbringing a bit like that? Like, since you were a kid, you sort of always involved in music, or?
Yeah, I come from a musically inclined family. My dad is a choir teacher,
Oh,
and I also have uncles and aunts who are all singers and performers. So basically, I grew up in a household full of music, and there was never a day that there was no music playing. There was always something happening, and I guess it was just a hobby. Actually, everybody had a hobby of just singing or playing an instrument in the house, and I never even it didn't even cross my mind that I would be using it as a career. It was just a hobby, and then it was just accidental when I was discovered in a bar, jamming with a friend, and then there was this big time manager, artist manager, who approached me and asked me if I wanted to be a singer, and I was like, "What do you mean, like a singer as a career or what?" So yeah, that was just very accidental, but yeah, I've been singing since I was a kid, and yeah, I owe it all to my dad, who is the one who really taught me how to sing, and my mom, who has the power of the voice. Yeah, because my mom would be only like talking normally, but we could hear her from the other end of the house. So it's a good combination.
Yeah, definitely. You got projection and technique. I mean, it's crazy.
Maybe not the best. I don't know if you were like what would you call it, a troublemaker as a kid when you were young, but I'm sure you could hear her yells from miles away.
Oh yeah. We were all scared of her, but I love my mom. Yeah, I love her.
So you got discovered in a bar.
That is
sort of jamming.
Yeah.
That is such that's everybody's like dream story, isn't it? It's like, oh well, I was just happening, serendipity also happened. It's like, tell us more about that. What was your initial reaction?
Well, originally I'm from a province here in the Philippines, from Iloilo. It's a province in here in the Philippines, and it's like an hour and a half plane ride, or an hour plane ride going to Manila. And when I finished college, the first thing that I did was to look for a job. I went to Manila to be a flight attendant, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was my initial plan. And while looking for a job, I visited a friend who was performing in a bar, and they asked me to go on stage to jam. And yeah, I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I sang a few songs, and I didn't know that there was this huge manager who actually was the manager of Regine Velasquez.
Wow.
He was my first manager. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he was my very first manager, and he discovered me, and yeah, it started from there. And yeah, he groomed me to be the male version of Regine Velasquez.
Literally, my God, it's a dream. Listening to your performances and seeing you as a performer on stage is so natural. It's so very refined in the craft as well. It's really refreshing, and I find that a lot of your live performances, I find myself going back to them to kind of like understand so much of the technique, and it is so natural to you. Like, did that come with the years of training with your dad, or did you kind of like discover all of these things in the go?
Well, with the basics, I guess it was with my dad, because I would remember when I was small, when I was still a kid, my dad would bring his entire choir in our house, and he would train them there, and probably I'd pick up a couple techniques and tips from him, and I started singing on my own, and then my dad discovered that, oh, this boy has talent, and then he would passively just teach me stuff like, you're using your nasal too much. You're using your voice from your throat. Don't use that. You're gonna lose your voice. So, and then he would like scream from one end, I can't hear you. Project some more. And it was just very passive. And then I would check out other singers on TV and on the radio, and I would like start getting their techniques. And when I got into school, I would join competitions without my dad knowing. And I would just come home with a medal, with an award. And yeah, so that was basically how things started. I was self-taught. I never enrolled in any vocal class or any performance school. It was all self-taught. And
Wow.
yeah, with the videos that you see right now, that was completely a big turnaround already. When I started, I was so quiet. Being, a guy from the province,
Yeah.
and being a newbie here in the big city, I was very quiet. I was so quiet that I wouldn't even do spiels on stage.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my keyboard player would be the one doing the spiels, and I would be just like standing there, and okay, I'd sing, and I'd say thank you, and then that's it. And then the keyboard player would do the spiels. But eventually I had to learn that I was the frontliner. I had to learn how to talk. I had to learn how to entertain the audience, how to deal with hecklers, or yeah. So basically, I learned from experience.
It's really peculiar that, because I would have never thought you would be like that would be the evolution, kind of like not just the singing part but more the performance.
Entertainer, yeah.
Because one of the things I'm sure maybe you've watched some of them, but one of the things that really impressed me about you was, I think, and a lot of singers, it seems as well in the Philippines, they're full performers, live show performers.
Yeah.
So you do have to learn how to deal with some prick outside saying something, and then you gotta deal with it.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, you really have to learn. You have to keep on learning, and to keep on learning how to be interesting on stage, because well, it's a given fact that here in the Philippines, singers and performers are a dime a dozen. A lot of people are performers here, and if you just settle with what you have right now, you will get left behind, because there's a lot of amazing performers coming out every day, especially now in the age of social media, that a lot can just upload their video and they become viral, and then you get left behind. So you really have to constantly be changing and
like evolving type of thing,
evolving and go with the times, and whatever is the in thing. Like with people doing TikTok now, you also have to be there. People doing YouTube, it's not anymore just the live scene anymore. It's online. Everybody's online. You have to go with the flow.